What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Johnny K Picks. And in this video, I'll be going over my full card picks and predictions, along with the bets that I'm looking at so far for UFC Vegas 94, Lemos versus Jandiroba. Now, first things first, as always, please hit that like button for me. Subscribe if you're new, or if you just haven't yet. Turn on the notifications so you know when I put out my videos, when we go live each and every week. Leave some comments below how well you did at what was it? UFC. I'm drawing a blank. Last card. Let's put that. Oh, Denver. UFC Denver. What bets you're looking at? What fights you're looking forward to for this card? And check out my Patreon. Patreon.com/JohnnyKpicks. I put out all my picks, all my bets, UFC cheat sheets each and every week. You can join for free, or you can join $5.99 a month. Become a core member. Get all my bets, like I said, early, often. I already have 5 bets for this card. Might have one more. I don't know if I should wait for some lines, but we'll get into this right now. But let's go over UFC Denver, actually. Kind of a fun card, actually. So the first fight was Elder versus Flowers. This fight was like made up 3 days before the card. Elder won. I mean, he was the better fighter. I knew that going in when they announced this. Probably this fight wasn't going to go the distance because both guys were coming in on short notice, and it was at elevation. So Elder was the one to get the submission, and he got it done. So good win from him. Let's see what happens with him. Petrosky versus Fremd. I will say I had a bet on Petrosky, but I did not think he was going to be able to basically dominate Fremd on the mat the way he did. I was actually leaning more so Petrosky by submission. He was very close. I believe it was the second round of the head and arm choke, but couldn't get it. But he dominated for 3 rounds, and that's the Petrosky that we want to see. We don't want to see him strike. We want to see him grapple. He's a better grappler than most middleweights. So we'll see what happens with him. Good win. Santos versus Agapova. This is basically was the lock of the card. Everyone was like, I don't understand why Santos was minus 400. And I'll be honest, I was a little bit on that bandwagon as well, but I got her at minus 250 like a week before. And yeah, she looked minus 1,000 because I don't think Agapova is UFC level. Let's put it that way to be nice. But Santos, she's still young, and I think she's gonna be do pretty good. We'll see what happens. Crazy fight here. Jackson versus Blackshear, 18 seconds knockout. It's officially, we can say that Montel Jackson has knockout power instead of knockdown power. He's had tons of knockdowns, but never got the finish. But his last 2 fights, he finally got knocked out or knockouts, and against a very good Damon Blackshear, who's never been finished. So great win. I wanted to see actually how this fight would have played out if it went like 2 rounds at least, or 3, because I really thought this was going to be one of the best fights of the night. But Montel had a different outcome he wanted. So good win from him. Jasmine versus Klein. Very fun fight as well. Klein looked good, but again, this was a very tough fight for her. Like, I don't understand how Jasmine was plus money earlier in the week. I think I got her at plus 110 because, I mean, Klein's good, but don't get me wrong. Like, she fights at strawweight normally. She's coming in on short notice, and she was going to be the smaller fighter for sure. And Jasmine, we know Jasmine. She's a dog. She's strong. She's a very good wrestler, very good grappler, and she's always going to be there, like pushing forward, and she's durable as hell. So tough ask for Klein, but I think she's going to be very good in strawweight. I like what I saw from her, and it was just a very tough night for her, and more than likely, I thought she wasn't going to win this fight. So good win from Jasmine. Another crazy finish here with Charles Johnson versus Joshua Van. Kind of a back and forth fight. Johnson looked good early. Van was getting his reads, looked good in the second round. And then the third round hit, and a crazy knockout from Charles Johnson, which we don't see a lot of KO power from him. And he gave it to us. So another fun thing with this one was, after round 2, I put in a live bet for Charles Johnson plus 1,200, which I thought it was crazy because I thought Johnson won the first round and I thought Van won the second. So it was 1-1 going into the third. I'm like, I'll take a shot at plus 1,200 on Johnson and see what happens, because we don't know what the judges are going to think, and ended up hitting. So probably, I think that was my best live bet ever as of to date. So plus 1,200 is my record, and very fun fight. Speaking of not fun fights, Cody Brundage versus Alhazan. Alhazan on his way to winning the fight And then literally, guess what happens? I don't even know what to say. I'm trying to be nice because I really think Cody Brundage should never be on the main card. One, two, more than likely should not even be in the UFC. And again, he gets away without getting a loss on his record because of a disqualification and or no contest. I'm very happy that they gave this one a no contest because I thought this one was a little bit more ridiculous. At least with the who did he fight? I can't remember. Oh, Malkoon. At least with Malkoon, the ref was warning him numerous times and he kept doing it. Just with Al Hazan, I kind of get, some of his punches might have landed in the back of the head because Cody was kind of doing one of these and kind of playing like an Algeo a bit, but I don't know. I'm like I said, I'm gonna be nice, but I don't want to see Cody Brundage on a main card ever again. Julian Erosa versus C-Rod. Good win from Erosa. I mean, C-Rod made a very rookie mistake. Let's be honest, and should never have initiated any of the grappling with Erosa because he's got crazy good front chokes, guillotines, and he had to pay the price for it. So look what happens, and that's what you get, C-Rod, because you did not beat Bulgarian. Bonfim versus Lusa. Lusa looked good in the first round. And then he kind of just did nothing in rounds 2 and 3. And I'm not 100% sold on Bonfim yet. I know he's super dangerous early. He did show us that he can go 3 rounds now at elevation. That's good. But again, I don't know. I think he might be first round finish or bust in the UFC. Not by bust, I mean like he's not going to get a finish unless it's in the first round. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm not super high on maybe he is with other people are on him, but I tell you who I am high on is Gene Silva. Gene Silva versus Drew Dober. Crazy fight, awesome fight. And Gene Silva is the man, dude. I think this guy he could be a problem in featherweight. He's got the power. If he can make weight, let's put it that way. But he's got crazy striking, crazy power, very patient, good takedown defense. I like what I see with him. And Drew Dober's a dog. And that crazy cut, man, he would have kept going too. But that cut was just as bad, maybe worse than Bueno Silva. So I thought that was a pretty good stoppage because that was crazy. And yeah, so I want to see what happens with Gene Silva. Maybe he'll fight this week coming up. Who knows? Salikov versus Ponzinibbio. Very, very close fight. I'm not saying robbery either way. I did think Ponzinibbio won, but I mean, like, again, who really cares who wins this fight? Let's be honest. They're both not going to make a title run anytime soon. But Ponzinibbio always seems to lose close decisions. And again, he loses another one. He needs to figure something out because, I mean, I thought he won, but you can't leave it to the judges anymore nowadays. They may or may not do the right thing. Let's put it that way. Rose domination on Tracy Cortez. We knew that was going to happen, right? I hope everyone did because this was a mismatch from day one. Now, if Rose was going to fight Macy Barber, I thought that was going to be a closer fight for sure. And because Macy Barber, I think is basically a better Tracy Cortez. She's a bigger bully. She's stronger. She's going to wrestle and she's going to keep pushing forward and she doesn't care if she gets hit. So Tracy Cortez isn't Macy Barber. So I thought that was going to be a very good fight, but it is what it is. Rose was basically another lock of the card. Santos and Rose, that was my parlay. I thought it was very good. That was my first bet like a week before this card. Like I think I even did it on July 4th. That was my most confident 2 picks was Rose and Santos. And we'll go right to my bets and picks. So my picks, I think I ended up going 8-3-1 because of the no contest. So I won 8, lost 3 picks. And my bets, I had 7 bets. I won 6 of them and up 6.62 units. So a very good night at the office for me. I had Jasmine, Petrosky. I had the over 1.5 in the Drew Dober fight. Rose to win in rounds 4 or 5 or decision. Like I said, Santos, Namajunas, parlay. Fight starts round 2. Ponzinibbio, and I had the Charles Johnson points plus 3.5. And then my time prop parlay was busted figures because I usually hit that and I don't hit anything else. So it's like the opposite day. And also want to bring up too for the live show bet, Safe parlay is still on a winning streak. We are 4 weeks in a row. So every week, if you do not know, my guest and I, we do a safe parlay. We pick one leg that we or two legs that we like just to make a plus money bet, and we usually throw $50 down. So we won 4 in a row so far. We're looking to go 5, and we didn't hit the risky parlay, but we were close. Like Petrosky had opportunities to get that submission, he didn't get it, and then Santos got the submission in round 1, and we had rounds 2 or 3. So we were on the right path. We just didn't get that little extra step. So I'm okay with losing that bet. I mean, we were on, like I said, we were on the same page. We were on the right path, but it just didn't work out for that. But definitely tune in Wednesday for the next one. I'm gonna have a different guest on, and we'll go for week 5. So, all right, let's do it. UFC Vegas 94, I believe. Yeah, Vegas 94. Dang, that's crazy. 12 fights. Let's get right to it, to the early prelim opener. Maybe not early. So prelim opener of Muhammad Usman versus Thomas Jefferson Petersen. I wish that was his nickname, but it is not. But Usman, super strong guy. He's not like a 265 heavyweight, but he looks like he is, but he's like 240, 245. His striking is pretty good. He's more so like a jab, overhand right kind of guy. He throws big shots all the time. He does have good wrestling and good takedowns when he uses it. In the clinch, and when he does get the takedowns, he can basically he's out muscles people and takes them down. But when he does get the fight to the mat, he's got good top control, good ground and pound. And he's durable. I mean, he can get hit, he can get cracked, but he just keeps coming forward. And Petersen, he's a pretty good wrestler, good takedowns, good ground and control, good ground and pound as well. He does have pretty good submissions too, but his striking isn't all that great. He is very hittable, but he does have okay power for a heavyweight too, and he's pretty durable. I don't think he's ever been finished in his career. Okay, he's been knocked out once, and that was in the 3rd round. So both guys are pretty durable. If I'm mistaken, I don't think he's been knocked out. Okay, he's been subbed once. So this is just a low-level heavyweight fight, guys. The line's close, so you could go either way, but I'm going with Usman. I think he can get the wrestling going here. I do think his striking is ever so slightly better, and I do think this fight's going to go over. If the odds makers gives us an over 1.5, that's the play. If it's over 2.5, you could think about it, but it better be close to plus money before you play that. Don't play any minus 200 over 2.5 on a sloppy heavyweight fight, because I do think this fight does go to decision though. But I'm gonna go with Usman. I don't know why I just trust him a little bit more, and that's weird to say, but I mean Petersen has a chance, but I'm gonna go with Usman. I think he's just the better fighter in this matchup. Next fight here, Luana Carolina versus Lucy Pudilova. And Carolina, solid striker. She's got good volume. Solid takedown defense. She's very hard to take down. She actively works to get back up if she is taken down. She's durable. In her last fight against Stoliarenko, she got out of a lot of different submission attempts from her, but she was able to outlast her and get the finish at the end. Lucy, solid striker as well. She can be a little low volume. She can mix in some takedowns here and there. She's hittable on the feet. She is durable, though. Her takedown defense is just okay. If there is going to be any takedowns, it's probably going to come from Lucy. I don't think Luana is going to go for any wrestling or grappling. I do think Luana is the better striker. I will say for this fight, it is going to be at bantamweight. And normally Carolina does fight at flyweight. She is a big flyweight. Probably because she did miss weight in her last fight. I think she had a couple times she missed weight or had problems. So that's probably why she's at bantamweight now. So something to think about here. But like I said, overall, I'm going to go with Carolina, the underdog. I know it's a slight underdog, but I do like her striking more so. Now, if Pudilova can get that wrestling going, she's probably going to win the fight. But I think the better striker is Carolina. And I think she'll hit more or hit Pudilova more, land more strikes, and get the win. I'm gonna say by decision again. So it's hard to trust Pudilova at this point when you're 3-6 7, if I'm not mistaken, in the UFC. 3-7 in the UFC. So gonna go with Luana to win this one. Next one's gonna be Loic Radzhabov. If I said that right or wrong, I always get this one wrong. Versus Trey Ogden. Loic is a very good wrestler. He's got very good takedowns. His striking is just okay. It's not very technical, but when he does land, he's got good good power. And he does slow down a little bit as the fight goes on. He did have a good win against Al Sawadi. I think that was in the second or third round, if I'm not mistaken. Third round, yeah. And that was a very close fight. He could have been losing that fight until that knockout too. So, um, something to think about there. Ogden, solid grappler, good takedowns, good wrestling. His striking is decent. He's not going to blow you away and knock out anybody. He has 0 knockdown or 0 knockouts in his career, which is a little crazy, but lots of submission wins. He does have good top control when he's on top, good cardio. He's durable, good leg kicks. And yeah, I'm actually shocked that he's the underdog. And maybe it's because, recency bias with the knockout here or something like that. But he looked very good against Kurt Holobaugh. Ogden did. He was going to win against Mota until the ref ruined that for him. And yeah, I'm going with the underdog here with Ogden. I think he can get takedowns of his own against Loic. And he can stay on top. Loic's takedown defense isn't all that great. He's the one that normally goes for the takedowns. But if he does get taken down, it's hard for him to get back up. And we've seen it in the Trey Ogden fight. He smothers people when he's on top. So I like that from him. I think he can stay at range well enough to not get hit on the feet or get knocked out too. I believe Trey Ogden's never been knocked out. He's never been knocked out. He's only been subbed. And I don't think Loic's going to be able to sub him here. So give me Ogden to win as an underdog here. He's going to have a little bit of reach advantage too. I'm going to say by decision, but it wouldn't shock me if it's like a late third round finish when Loic is a little bit tired. Maybe he gets because he was knocked out by Radzhabov, and I believe that was in the second round. So this is going to be a fun fight. I'm just going to go with the dog. Why not? I'm kind of shocked this is not even money odds here, but it is what it is. Next one, Miranda Maverick versus Dione Barbosa, or Dione, however you want to say it. But Maverick, get there, well-rounded. She's got good striking. I would say she's a better wrestler grappler. Her takedown defense isn't that great, but she does have good cardio. She's very durable, and she does have good reversals and sweeps if she does get taken down. And yeah, Barbosa, I believe she took this fight on short notice. Yeah, because Maverick was supposed to fight Tracy Cortez in this spot. So she is taking this fight on short notice. She's a good grappler. Her striking really isn't all that great. She does have decent cardio. Does fade a little bit as the fight goes on. She is durable. Her takedowns are okay too, but they're mainly trips and stuff when they're up against the cage or in the clinch. And her takedown defense isn't all that great either. So I'm going to go with Maverick. I'm pretty confident that she gets this one done. She just has to be a little bit careful on the mat with Barbosa. But I think as the fight goes on, I do think Maverick's going to take over for sure. It's just the early round. Maybe you have to be worried about Barbosa with her submissions and stuff. But on the feet, I do favor Maverick. And on the ground and the wrestling, I do favor Maverick as well. So give me Maverick to win. I'm going to say by decision. But yeah, confident that Maverick gets this one done. Next one, we're going to do interesting fight here, to say the least. Brian Kelleher versus Cody Gibson. Kelleher, he got knocked out, didn't fight for 2 years before that against Cody Garbrandt. Cody Garbrandt has some power, but it's hard to trust Kelleher, I'll be honest. But he's well-rounded, good striking. His grappling is very sneaky with his guillotines. He's been injury prone as of late. He's 37 years old. He's going to have a big reach disadvantage and height disadvantage here. Yeah, this is a tough one. Tough fight to call, but Gibson, solid striking. He does have decent power, very durable. He's tough. His takedown defense isn't all that great. He does have decent grappling though, but he's mainly wants to keep it on the feet. He does get hit a lot as well, but like I said, he's durable. He's 36 years old too. So I'm going to go with Cody Gibson. I mean, I just trust his durability. And it's like, I would say Brian definitely fought the better competition, but I can't trust the chin. I can't trust the durability. Um, I think the longer the fight goes, again, it's going to favor Cody Gibson. And I'm going to say Cody, I think he gets a knockout here. I think he gets like a second or third round knockout. We'll see what happens. Not betting this fight whatsoever. Minus 230 for Cody Gibson is crazy to me because both fighters, they're kind of a little untrustworthy, but I just favor Cody a little bit more because I can trust his chin. So give me Cody to win. I'll say second or third round finish or knockout here. Next one, it's Hyder Amil versus Zhang Yang Lee. And interesting fight, I will say. I kind of was going back and forth here, but Amil, solid striker, good power, likes to push forward, durable. He can mix in some wrestling here and there, but he's mainly a striker. He's 34 years old, which is a little bit late in the career here. He only had 9 pro fights, but he got knocked out against Fernie Garcia, and Fernie Garcia is usually durable, but I believe Fernie came up a weight class in short notice. So we'll give him that. But Lee, dangerous guy, solid striking. He's well-rounded, good grappling and wrestling. He's a little hittable on the feet sometimes, but he's durable too. And this is an interesting fight. I'm gonna ever so slightly lean Lee, but I'm a little worried for Lee and the power that Amil has. And if Lee doesn't try to mix in some wrestling early, I don't know how it's going to play out for him because Amil has that power that can knock you out in with one punch, and he's got to be very careful. But I think the better overall fighter is Lee, but the power and and Amil being dangerous on the feet does give me a little bit of hesitation. But I'm gonna pick Lee. I'm gonna stay away from this fight. Honestly, I don't like the odds. I mean, it's dog or pass. Let's be honest, for betting purposes, but for a pick, I'm just going to go with Lee. I'm not very confident, but it's a tough one here. Oh, yeah. And I'll say Lee by decision. How about that? I do think Amil is durable. I didn't say that. My bad, guys. Next one is going to be Choi versus Bill Algeo. So Choi is a good striker. He does have good power. He's exciting, dangerous guy on the feet. He can be hittable on the feet too, though. His takedown defense isn't all that great, but he is durable and decent cardio. Algeo, solid striker, unorthodox style of his striking. He does have a ton of throws a ton of volume. He stays at range very well. Sometimes he keeps his hands a little bit too low and he can get cracked. So that's a little bit something to think about. But his wrestling and grappling is very, very good and good cardio. And he's normally durable. He did get knocked out in his last fight, which was crazy because I did think it was kind of an early stoppage. But again, that's debatable if you want to say. But this is going to be a fun fight. We'll see what happens. I mean, Choi is going to be dangerous on the feet, but Algeo is going to be dangerous on the mat. And I do think Algeo needs to go to his grappling here to get this one done. I think he can win this one very easily if he does. On the feet, it will be close. But I'm going to go with Algeo to win. I'm going to say he gets a submission, actually, later in the fight. He's never been submitted, though. But I do think Algeo's grappling is slick enough to get a submission on Choi. If not, decision. So you can look at those odds. But give me Algeo by second round submission. I think he's going to be able to get the grappling going in this fight. At least he should. Because I wouldn't want to hang too long with Choi on the feet. Because he's always going to be dangerous. So, and Algeo was just knocked out. So I think he's going to try to mix in some grappling. Like, Algeo's not a dumb fighter. So he's got pretty good fight IQ. I think he's going to have a good game plan this time. Maybe he didn't have the best last time, but this one, there's a clear path to victory for him, and that's to wrestle and grapple, and I think he can. So give me Algeo by submission. Let's do it. Get back on the winning ways. Next one is going to be Cody Durden versus Bruno Silva. Very fun fight. Cody Durden's a well-rounded guy, very good wrestler with good takedowns, good grappling too. His striking is pretty good, good boxing. He's pretty durable. He gets submitted a lot, which is a little bit weird because he does have good grappling and good wrestling, like I said, but good cardio. Always pushes forward. He's gonna. I don't want to say he's a chain wrestler, but he does keep going for those takedowns until he gets it. Bruno Silva, well-rounded guy himself. He does have good power. He does have good striking. He can wrestle and grapple, but mainly he's more so a striker. He hasn't fought in like a year and a half, which is a little worrisome because before that, he didn't fight for another year and a half. And so he's not very active. And that's, to me, I don't know. I don't know if I like that. I like active fighters. Year and a half, every fight isn't all, to me, raises a little bit of a red flag. Was he hurt? I don't know. If you know, you can maybe put that in the comments why he hasn't fought in a year and a half. But I'm going with Durden, and I'm shocked that the line is almost a pick 'em right now. Um, I think money has been coming in on Bruno as well because I believe Durden was like a minus 150 at one point I saw. But I'm gonna watch that line, see where it goes. But I like Durden here. I'm gonna say by decision. I would say the more dangerous guy is Bruno on the feet, and maybe because, like I said, Cody Durden, I think he has 4 submission losses in his career. Yeah, it's got 4, so he's got to be careful if this fight does get to the mat, which I do think it will. But going with Durden, I like his activeness, I like his durability, I like his cardio. I think he can get those takedowns. And Bruno Silva's takedown defense, I forgot to say, isn't amazing either. So I do think Durden should be able to get him down. So give me Durden by decision. It's got to be a little bit worried for that neck, though. Just be careful, Cody. Main card. Oh, we're already on the main card. Kurt Holobaugh versus Kenan Kruschewsky, I'm going to say. Crazy Legs Brazilian has a SKY at the end. So it's a little weird. But Holobaugh, solid striker with power. He likes to push forward. Very durable. He always tries to set a high pace early. Good 1-2s down the middle. He doesn't really have good takedown defense, as we saw in his last fight, because Trey Ogden was able to take him down with ease, but he's very dangerous off his back with submissions, and he is durable. Kruschewsky, good striker. He does have a pretty good grappling, a lot of submissions under his resume, 9 submission wins. He was knocked out in his last fight against Elvis Brenner, but I believe he took that fight on short notice, and Brenner is a dog. But he is a little hittable on the feet sometimes, and his takedown defense isn't all that great either. So this is an interesting fight. I'm gonna lean Kruschewsky. I'm not confident whatsoever with this pick either. I do like his striking on the feet more. I think he's a little bit more dangerous. But if this fight goes into like late round 2 and 3, I think Holobaugh is gonna win those rounds. And I don't know if this fight's gonna see the mat. Let's be honest. Holobaugh's takedowns aren't the greatest. And Kruschewsky, I don't know if he's going to want to take this fight to the mat. I think he can take this fight to the mat if he wants to very easily, but he's going to have to be careful and stay in half guard or something like that, like Trey Ogden did the whole time and win minutes that way. But on the feet, like I said, I do favor Kruschewsky just ever so slightly. And he's, Holobaugh's 37 years old. It wasn't the greatest look against Trey Ogden, but this is a different style of fighter. Yeah, give me Kruschewsky to win. Not confident. I'm going to stay away from this fight too. There's like 3 or 4 fights I am not going to touch because it's just, there's better opportunities on the card, but this one definitely stay away. The Cody Gibson fight, definitely stay away. I would say the Usman fight, stay away so far. So that's 3 right there. See what happens. But Kruschewsky, I'll say decision by decision. Fun fight here. Steve Garcia versus Choi. So Steve Garcia, well-rounded fighter, more so a striker. He does have good power in his hands. He's a good elbows. He likes to get into brawls. He has been knocked out and dropped a couple times, but as of late, he has not. He's looking like he's some kind of world beater, if you want to say, but very solid fighter. He does have good power. He's a gritty guy. but he can get rocked. That's the one little red flag with him, but he's a mean machine. Choi, good striking, good boxing, good jab. He's got the good 1-2s down the middle. His leg kicks are pretty good. He's hittable, very hittable actually, which is a little shocking. He can get rocked. We've seen him get rocked a lot in his last few fights. He did look good against Aaron's though, but it's been a while. His grappling isn't all that great. He can mix in some takedowns if need be, but I do think Steve Garcia is the better on the mat for sure. So I think this fight's going to mainly play out in the feet. And yeah, give me Steve Garcia. I trust him way more than Choi. I think Garcia will find that chin at some point, make this fight dirty, and get the knockout first or second round. I can't trust Choi's chin. And I don't, if this was going to be a technical striker versus Choi, maybe, but Steve Garcia is a brawler. He's gonna push forward. He's gonna get in your face. He's gonna make this dirty, and Choi does not like that. Every time he fights a brawler or somebody that's gonna push a pace, he gets rocked. He doesn't really fight well off his back foot. So give me Garcia to win by knockout. I'll say first round, but maybe second round as well. But love Garcia in the spot. Co-main event, we got Brad Tavares versus Jung Young Park. And interesting fight here, actually. Tavares, he's been around forever, 36 years old, solid striking. He does have decent power. He's not going to one punch KO anybody anytime soon. Very good takedown defense. He can wrestle if need be, but he's probably not going to this fight. Good cardio. His chin is a little chinny. I think he's been knocked out 5 times, and that's not a good look. 5 times now. He was just knocked out. But Gregory Rodriguez is a monster. Bruno Silva is a monster. So I don't want to say I want to give him a pass, but I understand why he got knocked out in those fights, because those guys hit hard. But Tavares' chin, you have to wear on that chin before he gets knocked out. It's not like a one punch and then he's down. Like, you have to continuously hit the chin and then he finally goes. So he's like, his chin isn't completely dusted, if you want to say. But Park, very good grappler. He does have decent takedowns in wrestling. His striking is pretty good. He does have good boxing, but he doesn't really have that KO power, which is why I said, if Park had that KO power against Tavares, this might be a different story. But I think this fight's going to play out super close. I don't know if Park's going to be able to get the takedowns like he normally does. Tavares has very good takedown defense, and he's very strong. He's going to be the bigger guy in this fight. And he's going to be more, and it's just going to be like more muscular, bigger too. Like, he's already going to be 3 inches taller and with 1 inch of reach, but you're going to see a sizable difference. I'm going to go Tavares, and I usually always pick Park, and it's weird, but styles make fights here. And I don't think Park's going to be as successful getting this fight to the mat that he needs to. And if it's on the feet, I do favor Tavares ever so slightly. And I think he lands the harder shots, and I think he can do some work on the feet. And this is going to be a very close fight. We'll see what happens. Going to go with the dog here. This is going to be my, I don't want to say Hail Mary, but I do feel like Tavares has a very good chance to win this fight. And with the judges nowadays, you never know what happens if it's a close fight. It can go any way you think, like the Ponzinibbio fight. It's crazy. So give me Tavares to win. I'm going to say this fight does go to decision. I do like the over in this fight, whatever it's going to be. So that's something that you can look at. Both guys, Tavares has never been subbed. And I think that's Park's path to victory. And Tavares has been to 17 decisions in his career, and Park's been to a lot of decisions as well. It's 9 decisions. So give me Tavares to win a very close decision. And we got the main event. Amanda Lemos versus Verna Jandiroba. And we all know both these fighters. They've been fighting forever, it seems like. Lemos, very powerful striker. Her takedown defense isn't all that great. I thought it was better until I saw her fight Mackenzie Dern, and Mackenzie Dern was able to get takedowns on her, and so that says a lot right there. But Lemos does have pretty sneaky guillotines and submissions too. She can slow down as the fight goes on, but she's a very, like I said, very powerful striker. She's got that one punch knockout power, but as the fight goes on, she can fade a little bit. And she can put herself in some bad spots, but she is durable. She can go all 5 rounds, but she does slow down as the fight goes on. Verna, very good grappler, very good submissions. Her takedowns are pretty good too. They're not the greatest, but they are good enough, I think, in this fight. Her striking isn't all that great, but she knows that. She's going to go for some takedowns. She's going to look for the right opportunity and use her striking to set up her grappling and wrestling. She can slow down a little bit as well, but not as much as Lemos. But I think this fight's going to be on the mat as much as possible, and I'm going to go with Verna. I think she gets this one done. I can see a late finish, but I'm going to go with decision. I think Verna should be able to get 3 rounds, get Amanda down, and basically just out grapple her for 3 rounds at least and win. But I do think, Lemos is definitely the more dangerous on the feet, but Verna's going to be dangerous on the mat. So this could be a sneaky under bet if you're thinking that, but Verna's never been knocked out, I believe. If it's maybe once. No, she's never been finished in her career. So that's something to look at there. And Lemos, she's not really finishing anybody as of late. Weili Zhang, you're not going to finish her. If you can't finish Mackenzie Dern, how hittable she is, and I know Dern's pretty durable, but interesting. But yeah, I think what I saw from Lemos in the Mackenzie Dern fight, Verna can do the same, if not better. And I actually think that Mackenzie Dern might have won that fight against Lemos, but I'm not going to say that because I had to bet on Lemos. So give me Verna to win by decision or a late finish. Pretty confident that she gets this one done as well. But all right, those are the 12 fights that we have for UFC Vegas 94. Thank you for hanging out with me. Please hit that like button on your way out. Oh, and remember, Wednesday night coming up, we're going to have Defend Your Units with a special guest. We're going to do the live show bets at the end like we always do, like going for week number 5 weeks in a row. Appreciate you, like I said, hanging out, and let's keep the streak going. We're doing well lately. And till next time, happy fight night.